Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
You guys trying to close the show. She was doing a great job of feeding. That is it. It's over.
Coming up, so Katie, don't you regret not coming to the Knicks? Don't you regret not coming to the Knicks?
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. Episode 713 of the podcast. We're getting right into it, man. It's starting to get really fun. You know, the vibes have changed completely. Hate to use that word, but they have. It's just felt a whole lot better. As soon as the Yankees started making competent decisions, the entire outlook started to change. Everything started to change. It's all begun to change at the perfect time. The Yankees are heating up. They're heating up at the right time, man. You finally get a sweep. It's been a bit since they've swept a team. I think it was since that. Did they sweep Philly at the end of July? But, you know, regardless, they've won 5 consecutive series. During that span, they're 12-4. That's a .750 win percentage. The magic number to clinch the American League East is now down to 1, which means it's going to take 1 Baltimore loss or 1 New York win. But the good news for the Yankees is that they've got a series against Baltimore coming up this week. So the Yankees stand in first place with a 92-64 record as I record this Sunday night, September 22nd, 2024. Baltimore sits in second place by 6 games because they have just been a terrible baseball team since the middle of the summer. The Yankees were kind of in that situation, but they've turned things around since. So now they've got a chance to take the East in the Bronx against Baltimore in a series that begins Tuesday. It's a 3-game set in the Bronx. But yeah, man, this organization has finally woken up. They finally started to make the right decisions. And this was something we've been hammering all year. You know, like we've always been saying, there's potential here to make this a really strong roster. But just they weren't pushing the right buttons. Certain puzzle pieces weren't in the right spots. But now they're starting to do competent baseball decisions. Clay Holmes has been demoted off closer. Jasson Dominguez is up, and he's playing pretty much every day. Though I would like, a little more than 10 out of 13. But that's just me being greedy. DJ LeMahieu, now no longer a thing. The Yankees are getting younger. They've gotten faster. There's more balance. They're fully healthy again. Hamilton's been good since his return. John Birdie's back, and he's been giving immediate production on the bases, at the plate. Anthony Rizzo's bat sucks, but he's picked up some clutch hits. His glove has been excellent. That's going to be valuable in the postseason. He is saving bad throws time and time again. He's making really good catches off of line drive hits or would-be hits. He's made some mistakes, but he's been good over there for the most part. And you saw the lineup today. It's probably going to be the lineup on October 5th for Game 1 of the, hopefully, ALDS. You had Torres, Soto, Judge, Wells, Stanton, Jazz, Dominguez, Rizzo, Volpe. 1-9. That's going to be most likely the postseason lineup. Now, the hope is the Yankees carry on their bench Obviously, Trevino is the backup catcher. Cabrera will most likely be there. Birdie will be there to pinch run. And if they carry a fourth guy on the bench, I'm hoping it's Grisham over Verdugo at this point. You know? Because if you're talking about a guy who comes in for late game defense, I'd rather it be a Gold Glove outfielder in Grisham. He's got a better glove. He's got the speed. He's got some surprising lefty pop at the plate. He'll see pitches. I feel more comfortable with him at the plate than I do Verdugo, because Verdugo's been statistically the worst hitter in baseball since his hot start after May. So there's more with Grisham. There's more versatility. He can always, you put him in center field. You could slide Judge over to left if you really need to. But it's been good. The bats are firing on all cylinders. Guys, they were cold just a few series ago, but they've since found it. Stanton has found it. Judge is heating up. Soto has gotten hot again. Torres has been just super consistent. Dominguez looks promising. Volpe has made some adjustments, clearly. The Yankees are starting to mount some more comebacks lately. Right, this month we've seen quite a few. Another extra innings victory on Friday. The Yankees are now 6th in the MLB in runs per game in extra innings. So that was one of my concerns entering the month. The Yankees aren't mounting many comebacks. You're starting to see some late game execution. Right, the situational hitting has been better. Rizzo's picked up clutch hits. The Yankees' numbers on the season with runners in scoring position are actually not that terrible now. They're 13th in batting average, 12th in on base, 5th in slugging, 4th in OPS, and 7th in RBIs. They're starting to look a little bit better against left-handed pitching. They scored 6 runs on J.P. Sears this series, but you go back to Cole Reagans, who's a very tough pitcher. They beat him. You go back to that Cubs series, they scored 3 runs in 5 innings against Wicks. So left-handed pitchers in their last 3 starts against the Yankees have a 6.19 ERA. Torres being hot has helped that. Soto getting hot again has helped that. Judge has helped that. It's just starting to click, and it's giving you this monster. 1-9. It's become a really good offensive team. Statistically, they're the number 3 offense in baseball, and 2 of those teams ahead of them are in the National League. So the pitching has been even better this month. It's become elite, since the Chicago series. So that's in their last 16 games. Yankee pitching has a 1.96 ERA. Cole throws a gem on Friday. Rodon was brilliant yesterday. Heel kept them in the game today despite not pitching well. Cortez is getting hot at the right time. He's making a comeback ever since they put him in the pen. Schmidt looks good. Weaver's been incredible out of the bullpen. It's looking promising. So, I have faith, man. It's crazy. This is a season where I've gone through ups and downs mentally with this team. I have had for so long. I had no idea where I was going to stand, but I just like the way things look. So let's discuss this series where the Yankees sweep. They sweep the Oakland Athletics in the Coliseum for the final time ever. That place is being, I guess they're knocking it down. Oakland's going to be moving out of Oakland. They're going to be renting a spot in Vegas for 3 years, or somewhere else in Sacramento for 3 years until their new place in Vegas is ready. So that sucks. But this is what we got. This is what the Yankees are going to be running out. This seems like the team, and it seems like a team that has a pretty good chance of doing some damage in October, in just a couple weeks. So let's talk about this series. The Yankees sweep the A's in the Coliseum. And we'll do that as soon as we return from our first break. Be back in a few seconds.
Hey there. Thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much.
Welcome back to the show. Let's start this up, man. Let's start talking about this series. So let's go back to Friday. The first game of the series, the Yankees took a 4-2 victory in 10 innings. The righty Cole took the mound against the righty Ginn. The Yankee bats produced 4 runs on 8 hits, 7 of them singles. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. They grounded into 3 double plays, but they were 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Against Ginn, they got 1 run in the 5 innings that he pitched. They had a very nice opposite field approach in this game. A lot of guys going to right field. Torres, Grisham, Volpe a couple times, Stanton, Soto. I liked their approach, shooting the ball to the right field. Top of the first inning, you had the immediate buzzkill. Torres gets on, but Wells grounds into a double play. Another one of those in the 3rd inning. Verdugo grounds into a double play to end the inning. But top of the 5th, Seattle's up 1-0. The Yankees finally get on the board with a 2-out rally. Rizzo draws a 2-out walk. Grisham picks up a 2-out base hit to put runners on the corners. And then Volpe steps up to the plate. Gets a slider middle out. And he's able to put the bat on the ball. Picks up an opposite field RBI single. Ties the game at 1. And against the Oakland bullpen, the Yankees eventually scored 3 runs in 5 innings that they pitched. In the top of the 7th against Alexander, they wasted an opportunity when Stanton picked up a leadoff base hit off the top of the right field wall, but because he's so slow and because he hits the ball so hard, he only got a base hit off it. And so when Rizzo took the plate next, he grounds into a double play. Top of the 9th, they had a tough time dealing with Mason Miller, of course. The guy dominated them. The guy's legit, man. That guy is, as long as he stays healthy, and obviously that's a big if, he's legitimate. And hopefully they don't fuck with him and they keep him as a closer so he can keep his 103 gas. But, Wells pops up, Judge flies out, Dominguez strikes out swinging at a 102 fastball up in the zone. The guy's legit. But they only use him for 1 inning, which is smart. And so on the top of the 10th, McFarland comes into the game, and the Yankees end it there. Rizzo picks up a leadoff base hit the other way. What's his name? I think Lawrence, who had a tough series defensively, bobbles it in right field. Dominguez is not looking. I don't know if it was, I got to go back and look. I don't know if Rojas should have sent him, but he stays at third. Fortunately, you get a pass ball and Soto's at bat, so Dominguez ends up scoring. It's a 2-1 game. Yankees take the lead. And then Soto, in that pinch hit at bat, rips an RBI double the opposite way. He gets a sinker low and out. Plates a run, 3-1 Yankees. Then Volpe steps up to the plate. He slaps one to right field. RBI base hit. Another bobble by Lawrence. So a run scores to make it 4-1. So there's your offense. Volpe goes 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. He made some nice plays in the field. Torres goes 1 for 5. Made a nice play in the 2nd inning, going to his left. Made a nice diving stop to his left. Throws it from the ground. Gets the out. Stanton goes 1 for 3. Rizzo goes 1 for 3 with a walk. Judge walks. Jazz walks. Soto goes 1 for 1 with that pinch hit RBI double. He was a late scratch initially in the lineup, but they were being precautionary with the knee. So Grisham was in there, not Dominguez. But credit for Boone for pinch hitting Soto. He could have easily just done the thing where I'm going to give him the whole day. But the Yankees are going for wins right now. And Soto won them that game. Dominguez got a pinch hit appearance late. He was 0 for 1. Pinch ran before that pinch. Not a pinch hit, but he got the at-bat after coming in the game to pinch run earlier. But, yeah, that was your offense. And in the bullpen, Weaver got the job done. We'll start backwards. He was filthy. He closed out the bottom of the 10th. And before him was the brilliant Garrett Cole, who I want to start with and tip my cap to him. Garrett Cole was absolutely brilliant. A gem of a start. Much needed gem. 9 innings for Garrett Cole. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk, 7 strikeouts, no home runs allowed, 99 pitches, and the win. And the only run he gave up was kind of on Rizzo. That was a play he absolutely should have made. But this was a gem by Garrett Cole. It was so much needed after what happened last time out with Devers and the whole intentional walk garbage. This, I think, cleansed everybody's palate, so to speak. You know, I don't think any of us, are worried about Garrett Cole anymore. Garrett Cole needed exactly that to happen for me to be like, all right, I'm good. And I'm good with him. He could have pitched into the 10th inning, to be honest, if it wasn't, a blowout by the time they scored there. He had 99 pitches. If they absolutely needed him to, if their bullpen was taxed and it was a close game, who knows? 99 through 9. It's almost a Maddox. Like bottom of the 5th inning, he allows his first hit of the game. That was the Butler leadoff base hit that got past Rizzo. He should have made that play. Butler ends up stealing second, and then that's when Langoliers picks up the RBI base hit. Verdugo, ignores the cutoff there, and a run scores to make it 1-0 Oakland, but that was it. He goes 9 brilliant innings. And a very balanced pitch mix. 47 four-seamer, 17 cutter, 16 slider, 14 curve, 5 change. His changeup was very effective, especially to lefties. The four-seamer was very effective again. Oakland hitters were 0 for 14 with 4 strikeouts on the four-seam fastball. The cutter and slider they were generating a ton of swing and miss in this game. And the curveball. Both hits he allowed came off the curveball, but he got some quick outs with it, some weak contact ground balls. And he was mixing in the curve to both lefties and righties. So, absolutely excellent to see Cole do this on the year. 16 starts. He's got a 1.5 WAR, 7-5 record, 3.67 ERA, 88 in the third innings, 97 strikeouts, and 1.17 WHIP. That's on the season. But in his last 12 starts, he's got a 2.92 ERA, a 604 OPS allowed, a 212 batting average against, and that's across 71 innings where he's striking out 75 and allowed only 6 home runs. So 12 of his 16 starts on the season, he's gone at least 5, allowing 3 runs or less. So the season ERA is not exactly indicative of how good he's been just because he's had a couple of blow-ups against Boston and against Queens. He's been really good. And I have total faith in Garrett Cole going into game 1. This might be the last year of his peak. He might start declining after this. The opt-out situation, we'll see. But I still think he has enough left in the tank despite, not being 100% who he used to be. I still think there's plenty enough there to get the Yankees through a postseason this year. So he was excellent. He's got now 4 salutes on the year, so I tip my cap to Garrett Cole for doing what he did in Game 1. Amazing bounce back. Let's get to Game 2. Game 2. Saturday, 9 p.m. The Yankees win this game 10-0. 2 lefties going up against each other. Carlos Rodon versus the former Yankee prospect J.P. Sears. And the Yankees banged out 10 runs in the game on 14 hits, 3 home runs, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, grounded into 1 double play, and they were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Against J.P. Sears, left-handed pitcher, they scored 6 runs in 5 innings. Throws a lot softer than I remember. I'm pretty sure, I thought when he was a Yankee, he was at least throwing 93, 95. But there was a lot of 91. He's had an okay year, but the Yankees took care of him right away. Top of the first, the bases were loaded. Stanton grounds into a double play. A run does score. Fortunately, Dominguez comes up a little later in the inning, and he picks up an impressive 2-strike RBI base hit through the pull side to make it 2-zip Yankees. Top of the second, Anthony Volpe with a leadoff home run off of a 2-strike 90-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. It's not going to cut it. 3-0 Yankees. Top third. Stanton ends the game. This was kind of the backbreaker. Goes down and gets a changeup low and crushes it for a 3-run home run to the pull side. 6-0 Yankees. Sears is done after 5. The Oakland bullpen goes 4. The Yankees score 4 runs on them. Top 7, Judge leadoff home run against Belak. Gets a slider up and he punishes it 7-0. Volpe with an RBI force out after that, 8-0. And then Torres, when the Yankees round the order there, picks up a 2-run base hit to right field against Harris. Lawrence bobbles it again in right field, so 2 runs score. 10-0 Yankees right there. So Torres, 3 for 6, 2 RBIs. Soto, 2 for 6. Judge, 2 for 3. Home run, walk, RBI. Stanton goes 2 for 4 with a home run, a walk, and 3 RBIs. Dominguez goes 1 for 4, walks, picks up an RBI, a stolen base. He played left field in this game. Verdugo did not play because of the lefty pitcher. Birdie goes 2 for 4, hit by a pitch, steals a base. Volpe goes 1 for 4 with the home run, also drew a walk, had 2 RBIs, and he stole a base. Cabrera went 0 for 4 with a walk. He played first base in this game. Rizzo did not play, again, because there was a left-handed pitcher. And same thing, that's why Trevino played. He was 1 for 4 with a walk. He caught this game. Wells didn't play against the lefty, also because he had been struggling entering this game. But that was your offense. Rodon won 6 innings of no-run ball. 1 walk, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, no home runs, 90 pitches in the win. Another solid start for Carlos Rodon. I think that's the best way to describe his season. Solid. He didn't have his best stuff early on in this game. He was putting traffic on the bases in every inning until the 5th. But he finally gets a couple 1, 2, 3 innings in a row to complete his night. So he figures it out. And of his 90 pitches, it was his usual fastball slider combo. He had 43 four-seamers. Then he threw 28 slider. And then 13 curve, 7 change. The velo was down a little bit on the four-seamer. It was more around 94. He'll have some starts where he pumps it up to 97, 98. In this game, he was more around 94, 95. But he limited damage. 3 meaningless singles against the four-seamer. The slider was getting some misses. He struck out 3 with the slider. Oakland bats were 0 for 7 on the slider. And the curve and changeup. He was heavy with those pitches against righties, as you'd expect. Changeup was getting a lot of swing and miss, a lot of weak contact. The curveball was probably his weakest pitch of the night. Didn't get any swing and miss with that pitch. It was hit hard. The double that he allowed came off the curveball, but got outs. He was throwing strikes, 69% strike rate. And just, he's been, again, it's just been a really solid rebound season for Carlos. After everything that went down last year, the drama, the injury, just ending the way it did, giving up a whole bunch of runs without recording an out in Kansas City. Like, he has to go to this cabin in the woods where he's isolating himself. Like, it was a mess. And so for him to bounce back this way, he's been solid, man. I look at it like, as far as the regular season goes, the Yankees just want Rodon to win games, eat innings, punch tickets, right? And so you look at his numbers on the years, well, he's 16-9. That's a 640 win percentage. The Yankees are 613 win percentage in his starts. He's made 31 starts on the year, 169 and 2/3 innings. So he's there every turn through the rotation, and he's eating innings. He's got 190 strikeouts. That's 10.1 strikeouts per 9, a 27% K rate. So win games, eat innings, punch outs. That's what he's doing. So got to be proud with that. The ERA is now below 4. So that's nice. 3.98 on the season. Has a chance to get that even lower in his final start. Really, just the whole season, he's been good. You look at his first 14 starts of the year, he had a 2.93 ERA. Then in his next 3 starts, he posts a 7.05 ERA because he got hammered against Boston, he got hammered against Atlanta, and he got hammered against Toronto. But since then, in his last 14 starts, he's got a 3.43 ERA. So you take those 3 blow-ups away, the guy's had himself a friggin' year. He's got the same amount of quality starts this year that he did when he was with the Giants, pitching his best season yet in 2022. He's got 16 quality starts, same as that. So he's been great, and obviously the next step is doing what he was really signed to do. is do the job in the postseason, right? If Carlos Rodon goes out there and he does the job in the postseason, nobody's ever going to think about 2022 again or 2023. Nobody's ever going to think about 2023 again. At the same time, if he goes out there and he flops in the playoffs, then you're going to hear talks about the contract and about how this guy's not made for New York City again, because that's how this shit goes in the Bronx. Big contracts are signed for the postseason. So Carlos Rodon has a real good opportunity ahead to get this whole fan base back in underneath himself. Pause. The bullpen went 3 innings. After Rodon, Leiter pitched 2 clean innings, no base runners, struck out 3. Low leverage, meaningless innings, But the splitter looked good. The breaking ball looked good. He threw less sinkers, which has been a bad pitch for him. And then Meza got an inning after that. No base runners, struck out a batter, no runs. So that was game 2 on Saturday. Game 3 on Sunday today. The Yankees took Sunday's game 7-4 to sweep the A's. The righty Luis Seal against the righty Estes. The Yankee bats scored 7 runs on 9 hits, 6 extra base hits, 6 walks, 4 strikeouts, a sac fly. They were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. As the Chiefs go to 3-0. 5 runs on Estes in 4 innings. Top of the second, Oakland's up 2-0. Dominguez ties the game with a 2-run bomb. He gets a 91-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. Love the kid. Top 3, Judge, solo home run off a hanging sinker. 6th pitch of the at-bat. Takes it deep, 3-2, Yankees up. Top 5, Torres, solo home run at dead center field. The ball carried. It looked like it was a fly out, but that shit carried. Goes out. The Yanks are up 4-2. Jazz gets a sac fly the next couple at-bats later. It's 5-2 Yankees. They scored 2 more against the Oakland bullpen in 5 innings. Top 7. Yanks are up 5-4. And against Otañez, Stanton rips an RBI double off of a sinker low in the zone. He's a really good low ball hitter, Stanton is. That makes it 6-4. And then top 9 against Alexander Wells. Nice to see that. This was refreshing. He's been struggling, but here he rips an RBI double the opposite way to load the bases with nobody out. 7-4 game. Unfortunately, the Yankees didn't get any more after that. Jazz strikes out swinging on a sinker in the dirt. Verdugo does his usual ground ball out. Rizzo strikes out swinging on a slider away. But 7 runs was plenty. 7 runs was plenty. Torres 2 for 5, a home run and RBI. Judge 2 for 3, home run, double, 2 walks, RBI. Wells 1 for 5, double, RBI. Stanton 1 for 3, double, 2 walks and RBI. Josh Chisholm 1 for 3, sac fly, walk, RBI, stolen base. Jasson Dominguez 1 for 4, a home run, 2 RBIs. He did hit the ball hard all 4 times he was up. 3 times from the right side of the plate. Volpe goes 1 for 4, made an E6 in the game, and that was your offensive performance. 7 runs. Luis Heel, 5 1/3, 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, 92 pitches in the win. Got his 15th win, so that's nice. Probably going to win Rookie of the Year. Definitely should. Was not great in this start. He had no command once again. Does the thing where he struggles early, finds it after that. But the changeup was bad. He was kind of dropping his arm angle on the changeup. The mechanics were a little off. The slider was okay. He got a lot of swing and miss, 10 swing and miss with the slider, but just threw it too much in my opinion. I think he should be keeping the slider out of the zone too. A lot of his sliders are in the strike zone, which concerns me. But, that bottom of the first inning, he issues a pair of 2-out walks to Blade and Langoliers. In those at-bats, he lost the zone with his changeup and his fastball. And then Soderstrom comes to the plate, gets a fastball in the middle of the plate, rips a 2-run double. Volpe makes an E6 on the throw there. It's 2-0 Oakland at the time. Bottom 6, the Yanks are up 5-2 by then. He issues a 1-out single off a slider to Soderstrom. Blake comes out to visit, and then he issues another base hit to Geloff. I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name. It's a slider. So puts another runner on, and that's when he's pulled for Ian Hamilton. It's just he was too off-speed happy when he was behind in the count. It's like you throw 98 miles an hour. Use your gas. Use that. It's an unhittable fastball. It's got life. The numbers are good on it. Throw that pitch. You don't need to be going off speed all the time. You're behind in the count. Go heat. You don't need to nibble. You don't have Stroman stuff. You have Luis Seal stuff. So that's the only concern. It's just that control, the command, right? That's the concern for the postseason. All it takes is one start. That's why the Yankees are going to have, whether it be Cortez or Schmidt, depending on the matchups, maybe they carry Stroman, somebody ready to piggyback him in case it gets ugly. Just in case. And there's going to be at least one inning in the postseason where Luis Hill starts and he puts Yankees fans through hell and back. You can see it. Like I am stressing out in my head where he's going to have no outs, second and third, tight game. Like it scares the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie. It does scare me. So it's got some Yankees fans rethinking if he should be in the rotation at all. It's got some Yankees fans rethinking. I think that the conversation that should be had, should he be game 3 versus game 2? Should he start at home versus starting on the road? That should be the first conversation because I don't see, the command issues aren't going to go away if you put him in the bullpen. It's not going to change anything. Maybe start him at home where he's behind his home crowd, where he's not going to get as rattled. But I'm rocking with this guy still. He's still in my postseason 3. Hell yeah, he is. I'm all about velo. I'm all about stuff when it comes to the rotation, man. Just pitching in general today. You need to have stuff. And he's got that for October. He's got the unhittable fastball, and he's got 2+ off-speed pitches. There's a reason he's the Rookie of the Year favorite. He's 13th in ERA in the entire MLB. He's 11th in strikeouts per 9. This is of guys who have at least 140 innings thrown. He's had a hell of a year, and he deserves to get a starting spot in that rotation in October. After him, again, Hamilton comes in, can't get the job done. So it's the bottom of the 6th, 5-2 game, 2 runners on. He leaves a Slambio in the middle of the plate to Noda, who picks up a 2-out, 2-run double. So it's 5-4 Yankees. Ends up getting out of it 2/3 of an inning, no runs, 2 inherited runners score, 1 hit. Tim Hill gets the 7th inning, clean inning, 1 inning, no runs, no base runners, 1 strikeout. And then Clay Holmes almost did it again before Boone came to his senses and pulled him early this time. And he was running out there. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Yanks are up 6-4 over Oakland. And, Langoliers picked up a single off of a sweeper. Soderstrom has walked. So you got first and second, nobody out. And then I think he strikes out somebody. Geloff. He strikes him out swinging on a sinker low and in. And right there, Boone's like, all right, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not going to push it. I'm going to pull you for my guy, Luke Weaver. So Holmes, 2/3 of an inning, 1/3. 1/3 of an inning, no runs, 1 hit, and a walk. Just continues to put traffic on the bases and make things extremely difficult. And then Weaver comes in and gets the 5-out save. So the pen combines for 3 2/3 innings of no-run ball. And speaking of Luke Weaver, I'm going to tip my cap to Luke Weaver for being excellent yet again. I mean, the guy's racking up salutes. Another impeccable series for Luke Weaver. You see the numbers there on the screen. This series, he goes 2 2/3 innings across 2 games, game 1 and game 3. So no runs allowed in those 2 2/3 innings. 6 strikeouts, no walks, just 1 base hit, 34 pitches only. Gets 2 saves. He's been awesome. And if he can get to his season stats here, he is 6-3 with a 2.93 ERA, a 0.93 WHIP, 101 strikeouts across 83 innings, 22 holds, 4 saves, and that's in 61 games. He has been everything for this bullpen. He's the best arm in that bullpen. He's been on fire in his last 7 games where he's pitched 10 innings, allowed no earned runs, has striken out 22 batters, which is a 20 strikeouts per 9 that span. 6 base runners, 3 for 3 in saves, and he has a hold. Just a completely different pitcher lately. He's taken it to another level. He's been having a good year, but lately he's just stepped it up. Like, he's throwing harder. He's now sitting 97, 98. I know the velo plays up as a relief pitcher versus when he started for the Yankees last year, but it still felt like earlier this season he was 94 to 96 mostly. He's up there now. And he's got that filthy changeup, which is making him super effective versus lefties. His energy is always insane when he gets out of a big inning. He's been awesome. And, if you're going to credit Cashman for anything, this can be one. I hated the acquisition. I hate when they brought him back. I hated it. I was bitching about it. But the kid's only making $2 million, and he's pitching better than Michael King did last year. Michael King who? Having a really good year, by the way. But I just hope, Weaver's not being overused, because they are going to him a lot in that multiple innings role, multiple innings saves. So I just hope he's not overused and he doesn't get hurt or he doesn't fatigue by the postseason. But I think he'll be fine. He doesn't throw a slider, so that helps. Yeah, man, he's been an angel. He's been perfect for this team this year. He's just, I don't know, man. He tweaked his mechanics over in the winter, and he's just become a brand new guy. He's found his control. He's got rid of the leg kick. He's going to that slide step, and it's been working for him. Friday comes in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's a 4-1 game. Yanks are up. Gives up a leadoff RBI base hit to Blade. It's an inherited run. So it's 4-2. But then he just goes to work. He strikes out Langoliers on a foul tip. He goes 97-mile-an-hour four-seamer in the middle of the plate. Langoliers swings and misses. It's a 1-1 count. Later in the at-bat, he throws a 92-mile-an-hour cutter low. He swings and misses. 2-2 count. He fouls off a 97 four-seamer, low and inside. And then he goes back to the changeup, where Langoliers foul tips and strikes out. Seth Brown comes to the plate next. He strikes out swinging. He goes 2 changeup away, gets 2 swing and misses for a 1-2 count. Then he goes 96 up in the zone for another swing and miss to get strike 3. Then G-Love comes up to the plate. I know I'm saying his name wrong. He strikes out swinging. He goes changeup low for a swing and miss, 0-1 count. 96 four-seamer up in the zone, fouls that off, 0-2 count, and then he goes back to the changeup low for the swing and miss, strike 3. Fucking impeccable. Sunday, today, comes. Bottom of the 8th inning. He's got 2 on, 1 out. He strikes out Brown swinging on back-to-back changeups. Blake comes to the mound to visit. McCann steps up to the plate, pinch hitting, and he strikes out swinging. Weaver goes four-seam changeup. So he just continues to come in and just do his... He bitched both lefties. Those were both lefties. Bottom of the 9th comes, he goes 1-2-3. So this is your closer. This is your postseason closer. He's got the pitch mix for it. He's got the stuff. He works very quickly. He's confident. And he just brings this this comfortability. He makes you comfortable. He eases you. You're not nervous and biting your nails like the other guy. And that other guy cannot pitch in the postseason. Clay Holmes cannot be part of the formula in October. It's go time. And he's not part of that. And I know the Yankees, Boone is trying to find the lane for him, but it's just not working. Sometimes you just got to cut bait. And I'm a little concerned. With Jay Cousins being out, I'm concerned that Boone's going to use these final 6 games to find Holmes that lane. Because he's worried about feelings. Because he's obsessed with Clay Holmes' stuff. And he thinks all the results are just bad luck. Telling you, man, I'm very concerned about the Clay Holmes usage. But Luke Weaver's been incredible. So that's his 10th salute on the season, and he deserves it. We'll be right back after this break.
You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4.
Welcome back to the show, episode 713 of the podcast. The Yanks sweep the A's at the Coliseum. This lineup's getting hot again, man. A lot of guys are starting to click at the right time, as we said at the top of the show. It starts with your leadoff hitter. That guy's got to get on for Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. And Gleyber Torres has been excellent at leadoff. He's been excellent since the benching. He's brought back the opposite field approach, which is always the indicator. When Gleyber Torres is using when Gleyber Torres is using right field, when he's using center field, that's when you can tell he's starting to get it together. And he's been doing that for a while now. He's seeing pitches, he's working at bats. You know, he's starting off every game lately. He's consistently starting off the first inning with a base hit. Huge. That's huge. So the numbers here I'm going to read off. And I'm pretty sure this is since the benching. So Gleyber Torres' first 80 games of the season, since the beginning of the season up to June 25th, his first 80 games, 215 batting average, 628 OPS. Since then, I'm pretty damn sure, I'm like 90% sure that's when he got benched. Since then, in 69 games, he's batting .294 with a 778 OPS. Which means on the season, his numbers are .254, 702. So he's finally got the OPS above 7 across 149 games. He's been good. I'm happy that he's turned it around. This is a kid who is a very emotional player. He kind of wears his heart on his sleeves. You know that he takes things very easily, or not. He doesn't take things well, you know, but it's good to see that he got benched and he took it well this time around. He was like, all right, I need to get my shit together. You know, I just got ripped by my manager in front of everybody in the dugout. And he's gotten it together. And that's going to be so big for the postseason, which Gleyber Torres has had some good postseason for the Yankees. He's had some good ones. You know, 2019, he was really good. 2020, he was really good. Last couple postseasons haven't been great. But you've seen him do it on the big stage before. And I think now, with a completely different team than those two teams, yes, he's the leadoff guy, but he's not the main guy anymore. He's got Judge, he's got Soto, he's got Stanton, Wells, Jazz, who've all had better years than him. So he's not really relied on as one of the guys. So it's going to help him, I think. Soto has been back, right? He's starting to hit. He's been hitting since the Seattle series. He's tough as nails. Thank God he's okay. Giancarlo Stanton has been pretty solid since the Boston series. Stanton's last 7 games, 6 walks, 7 hits, a .318 average, a .993 OPS, 6 RBIs. He's spitting on close pitches. He's lining the ball super friggin' hard. He's been good, and he gets so much hate. For what reason? Yes, I know he's not the most dimensional player, but he's here to DH. He's here to hit bombs. He's giving you better offensive production statistically than Austin Wells, than Jazz Chisholm, 2 fan favorites. Yet he's probably the one guy the fans hate most when he's been the 3rd best hitter on the team statistically. When Stanton slumps, he's washed. DFA him. Trade him in the winter. He's having a bad year. No. Like, when everybody else slumps, it's all good. They're just in a slump. When Stanton slumps, it's a much bigger deal for whatever reason. All in all, you look up. The guy's got a 778 OPS, 26 home runs, and 68 RBIs. If you would have told me that back in February, I would have signed up, and so would have you. He's been good. He's been good. He's producing. Anthony Volpe showed signs of life this series. Maybe he's made some adjustments. He gets benched, then he goes 0 for 4, and then he was pinch hit for the next game. And since that pinch hit, so the Oakland series, 3 games, he goes 5 for 12 this series with a home run, a walk, and 4 RBIs. He's barreling the ball a little more. He's using all fields. He's using his speed to get on base. A productive Anthony Volpe at the bottom of that lineup is so tremendous for this Yankees team. It's just one more bat. Jasson Dominguez. We're seeing flashes lately. You're seeing more. He's taking close pitches. He's working at bats, giving you an approach. He's taken a lot better swings lately. His last 9 games, he's got 371 OBP, 7 hits, 6 walks, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. So you look at his overall numbers, and he's one lukewarm streak away from his season numbers looking real solid. Small sample size can make your numbers look a lot worse because they fluctuate a lot more up and down. He's one hot streak away from those numbers looking really good. But he's now 20 games into his major league career, and he's got 6 bombs, 11 RBIs, and 811 OPS. So, just judging him so far through his major league career, you can see the power is legit. That elite power they talk about from the left side of the plate with Jasson Dominguez, that's true. You can see that. The guy can hit moonshot. He can turn on a friggin' fastball. He hits the ball super hard. His bat speed is top notch. He's an actual threat at the plate. When Verdugo's up there, nobody's scared. It's an easy out. You saw that stat today that came out on Twitter. He's got the same amount of home runs as Verdugo since he's been recalled that Verdugo has had since July 7th. It's embarrassing for Verdugo. So Dominguez looks a lot better lately. So what I say, just keep doing your thing, man. I hope the Yankees let him finish out the season playing every day. And I have a feeling he's going to rake in the postseason. And then wintertime comes, fine-tune a couple things. And I think you got yourself an all-star here. I don't want him to turn into, God, I don't want to say this name, Gary Sanchez, where he's like all power, no contact skills. Because I just don't want him to be that boomer bust guy. I want the contact to be there. So he's striking out a little bit too now, a little too much right now. The right side of the plate, he's got to work on that. He's got a little loop in his swing from that side of the plate. But I think he'll figure it out. I think with hard work, and the kid is a hard worker, he's going to figure this out. But there's a lot of upside there, man. And there's a lot of upside in this lineup. The balance is going to help this Yankees team this postseason. Lefty, righty, switch, youth, veteran. They've got an increase in speed, which is going to prove to be so valuable in a couple weeks from now. Jazz, Jasson, Volpe, Cabrera, Birdie, all those guys can run. You got athleticism. You got depth. This is one of the things Yankees fans have been complaining a lot about for some reason this year. Sure, you got a couple holes. You haven't gotten production from shortstop. You haven't gotten production from first base, which is usually a Yankee staple. I get that. Sure. Left field, Verdugo's been bad, but he's not going to play every day in the play. You got some holes, okay? You got 2 or 3 guys. Sure. What people forget to do is look at other American League ball clubs. Why do we never do that when talking about how scared we are of this Yankee lineup entering the playoffs? What about the other clubs? You got to compare it. It's all going to be relative. Look at Houston. They've got big holes in the outfield with Myers and Dubon. Look at Cleveland. They've got big holes in the outfield with Brennan, Thomas, Freeman. They're not getting production from their middle infield. Jimenez and Rocchio are not hitting. They're not getting catcher production. Naylor. The Royals have lost 7 straight. They have big holes all around their outfield. They're not getting much production from Garcia at third base or Melendez, whatever his name is. Forget which one. All these teams have holes. It's completely normal to have a couple guys not hit. You're not going to get production 1-9. Offense is down around baseball. The Yankees have solid depth with 2 historic, other teams don't have, 2 historic power bats to top it off. Nobody in baseball has that other than the Dodgers. And if you get the Dodgers, then that means you're in the World Series. But the Yankees have solid depth with 2 otherworldly, unlike anybody else power hitters, batting 2 and 3. So that's what's going to make them a threat this postseason, is what they have sitting at the top of that order, combined with the insurance they have behind them. And speaking of one of those guys, I'm going to tip my cap to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge in this series goes 4 for 9. That's a 444 average. He has an 1837 OPS in this series, a double, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 4 walks, couple strikeouts, 4 runs, 11 total bases. Yeah, starting to hit the bombs again. 2 home runs this series after 2 home runs in the Boston series. He's back, man. He's all the way back. You know, it's just going to come down to the playoffs. There's nothing else to be said. The guy's having an incredible season. It's very much like 07 A-Rod. Probably better, definitely better than 07 A-Rod. He's got 55 home runs, 137 RBIs, 138 RBIs. Yeah, 138 RBIs. Incredible. It's just going to come down to the postseason. Can he do it in the postseason? So, Aaron Judge, tipping my cap to him for the 17th time this season. Just got to do it in the playoffs, my guy. Let's get to our final break. When we get back, we'll wrap it up. A few more things to do. Stay with us. Be right back.
If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born. Welcome back to the show. We forgot to, or I didn't forget, I didn't feel like mentioning at the top of the show a couple of in-house notes. We'll just get through it now. The Yankees announced a few days back that LeMahieu is doing T-work, quote unquote. Yeah, okay. Sure thing. Yeah, he's definitely doing that, right. Real news, that's not fake. Cody Poteet has been activated and he has been promoted to Scranton. And so with that move to put Cody Poteet with the Rail Riders, the Yankees DFA Ron Marinaccio. So a lot of people didn't want to see that happen. I've mentioned before there have been some surprising DFAs this year. You know, Gonzalez, Tonkin, Birdie. You can add Marinaccio to that. Interesting names that, you know, I thought were serviceable or had potential, especially Tonkin and Birdie. But Marinaccio, unfortunately, wasn't cutting it. You know, I liked him. I always liked the guy, but, you know, I thought he had a good changeup, but the fastball was getting hurt. He wasn't really getting the job done, and so they had a weird relationship with him. This guy has gotten optioned so many times with this team. You kind of feel bad. And you hope that wherever he ends up, they give him a legit chance, because I think he's got a live arm. Poteet, you know, the Yankees like him. He's a lefty. He can give you some length. He's been good in the small sample size. But that's that. Lou Trevino has been shut down with the shoulder injury. That guy is a joke. That trade has been an abomination. So has the Scott Efros trade. Let's just cut the bait with these two guys in the offseason and just never speak of them again. because every time we're getting updates, we're getting injury updates, and these guys are never going to be here. Scott Efros has completely lost his stuff. Lou Trevino hasn't pitched in 2 years. It's been crazy, that whole thing. So I would like in the wintertime to just cut bait with those guys, never see him again, and let's move on. Jay Cousins has been put on the 15-day DL with a right pec injury. I think it was Clayton Beeter. Yeah, Clayton Beeter has been promoted in the time being. But hopefully the Yankees are saying they hope that Cousins is back for the playoffs. Gotta be careful with the words they use. Listen closely. They hope he's back for the playoffs. So obviously they hope. But he's going to see Dr. Ahmad tomorrow. Boone says he's planning to have him throw off a mound next week. But this is a super important piece to the back end of the Yankee bullpen. He's become a key cog for that relief pitching core. So hopefully it's just precautionary. You think at this point in the year that's what it is, but it is a little bit concerning because you hear right pectoral. That's a little concerning because it's right near the throwing arm. So are those 15 days going to help? Hopefully. You have time between now and if you make the DS to where you can put him on that roster. Beeter. I was doing some prospect watching. Been paying a little bit of attention to some of these prospects. And Clayton Beeter, with the promotion, I dug into some of his numbers and read about him, seeing what he's doing lately. If you don't remember, I should say, this is the kid the Yankees got from the Joey Gallo trade with the Dodgers. He was hurt most of this season with the shoulder problem, but his numbers are pretty good on the year. He pitched 1 inning on opening day with the Yankees out of the bullpen. He pitched a clean inning against the Astros, and that was it. They sent him back down. But with Scranton this year, he's got a 2.25 ERA across 36 innings. Since his return from the shoulder injury with Scranton, he's thrown 7 innings. He's allowed no runs on 2 hits, striking out 12 batters, and no walks. So he's looked very good. He's a guy who's mainly a 2-pitch pitcher. He's fastball slider. The slider's got some great depth to it. It misses a lot of barrels. It's graded as a 60 on the 20/80 scale. The fastball sits around 93, 95 with some ride up in the zone. It can touch 97. The Yankees, they have a lot of prospects, a lot of starting pitching prospects with low velo, where they're just like guys who are reliant on pinpoint command, and that kind of bothers me. Now I know this guy's got a good slider. He also throws a change and a curve. Doesn't go to the changeup often. The curveball is probably the better pitch of those two. But, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people like Beeter. I wish they had more velo guys. But he can get up there. So, and so I was doing a little, I was going down the rabbit hole. I saw Ben Rice hit another home run today. Since his demotion, he's got 9 home runs, 23 RBIs, and that's across 19 games. So he's been on fucking fire. And listen, this was a kid who, if you're into the nerd shit, the MLB peripherals was saying that he was just hitting into some tough luck. There was a lot of red on his Savant page. He was barreling the ball. The K rate wasn't that bad. The power was there. He was walking a lot. It says that this kid has something. So I'm hoping that they, this is depending on what they do in the wintertime, but, I'm hoping Rizzo opts out. I love Rizzo, but I think it's over with him. And I'm hoping at the very least they let Ben Rice compete for the first base job in spring training, just to battle it out in camp in March of 2025. That's what I'm hoping. And then I was looking into Spencer Jones because he's been hot. He's had a very streaky season in Somerset. He had a 922 OPS in April, a 502 OPS in May, a 901 OPS in June, a 689 OPS in July, but now he's starting to find it again, where he had a 903 OPS in August, and so far he's got a 932 OPS in September. So the one thing I liked when I was looking at his splits was the major positive is that he's pretty equal against both lefties and righties. So for a lefty slugger like him to see that he can handle left-handed pitching, that was really refreshing. Obviously, the major issue is the swing and miss, right? This is a guy who strikes out a lot. He's got a 37% K rate on the year. He's up to 200 strikeouts so far. So he needs to work on that, or else he's not going to be more than a boomer bust big league hitter. But hopefully he improves and he's with AAA for most of 2025, and then maybe we see him in September, next year. So that's that. Got a little off topic there. Up next, we've got the Baltimore Orioles, folks. So that magic number is down to 1. So all the Yankees need to do is grab 1 win this series. Doesn't matter how many they lose. They could lose the first one, lose the second one. As long as they grab 1, this division is theirs. Okay? So I would still like to see the lineup that they put out there today consistently put out there. I think it's important that lineup finds chemistry and gets reps together. Give Wells reps versus left-handed pitching the rest of the way. Give Dominguez reps in the outfield. Get him reps from the right side of the plate. Give Stanton everyday reps. No more sitting him. Let Volpe ride out this hot streak. You got 5 days off anyway to sit the guys. So it doesn't matter. If you win the East, you have 5 days off. And, even if they do secure the American League East this next series, it's important to keep throwing that Game 3 lineup out there because you still want to secure home field for both rounds. You want that best record in the league. So the Yankees really need to end the season with their foot on the pedal, get into the postseason hot, carry that momentum if you believe in that stuff. But yeah, Baltimore's coming up this week. So on Tuesday, you got Schmidt versus Kramer. Wednesday, you got Cortez versus Eflin. And then on Thursday, you got Cole versus Burns to wrap up the season series there. So 3 right-handers going for Baltimore. So we'll see what the Yankees can do. Folks, that's it. That's all we got. We are an hour into the show. And I appreciate you all tuning in. We're going to head to our final break, get back, and wrap it up with our trivia. So stay with us, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
Okay, welcome back to the show, episode 713 of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in to BD4. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up with our trivia question. Okay, so we got a multiple choice for this episode's question. Our trivia question of the day. Against which team did the Yankees record back-to-back 20-hit games in the 2007 season? Was it the Red Sox, Cubs, Royals, or Rays? Against which team did the Yankees record back-to-back 20-hit games in the 2007 season? Red Sox, Cubs, Royals, Rays. That's it, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. Episode 713, the Yanks sweep the A's in the Coliseum. And that's it for that place. But the Yankees will go on. The Yankees will come back home to the Bronx where they play baseball and take on the O's for 3. So hopefully at the very least, they can take the division here. And then we got a lot of fun coming up. I'm planning on going to game 1 of the ALDS as long as they get in. So that should be a blast. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in. I'll see you in the next show. Later. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you. And we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees and go Knicks!